Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Nnamdi Kanu issues 7 directives to IPOB supporters. Nnamdi Kanu issues 7 directives to IPOB supporters. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, is not ready to let down the battle towards regaining freedom from the detention of the Department of State Services, DSS. Kanu, in an effort to regain freedom, had approached the Supreme Court after the federal government failed to obey the court ruling ordering his release and compensation. The IPOB leader, ahead of the Supreme Court ruling, has issued 7-point directives to IPOB and his supporters. The counsel to Kanu, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, reviewed this in a statement released after the routine visit to the IPOB leader at the headquarters of DSS in Abuja. Kanu, in the directives, called on his supporters ahead of the court ruling to be cautious of their enemies and maintain peace in all quarters. The IPOB leader further stated that IPOB is a peaceful self-determination movement. The separatist leader, in the second point, condemned all forms of criminalities and those behind them, adding that he was not giving any order to any group to engage in any form of criminality. The statement read, furthermore, Oyendu directed me to issue the foregoing statement. 1. That this critical time calls for the greatest circumspect among his followers because the enemies are relentlessly exploiting the vulnerable to sustain their status quo and further blackmail the IPOB, ably led by Nnamdi Kanu, which is a peaceful self-determination movement. 2. He has a hard stance in the condemnation of crimes and dissident and reiterated that he has never condoned nor supported criminality of any form. Hence, the criminal elements who are involved in making lives unbearable to our people should be immediately fished out and dealt with as such. They have no place in IPOB's peaceful self-determination movement. 3. That the general public and indeed his people should be notified in unmistaken terms that nobody is receiving any instruction from him for the purpose of encouraging dissident behaviors and accordingly disassociate himself from any person who is mischievously feeding the public with such blatant falsehood. Kanu stressed that he has since made his stance public, which position is clearly contained in viral short clip recorded during one of his appearances in court. 4. Kanu reiterated his call for total calmness in the entire southeast region and particularly queried the mental state of those who are relentlessly waging war against his people, the very people he had sworn to protect and make life better for. 5. Kanu's movement was founded on a peaceful bedrock in consonance with the universally recognized right of indigenous people to self-determination, as clearly encapsulated under the extant laws. 6. That the activities of the dissident, marauders who engage in criminal activities, are further emboldened the Nigerian security agent to unleash terror on innocent people of the southeast region. 7. In conclusion, Kanu reminds Umuchineke to note that the successive landmark victories he recently recorded in various courts of competent jurisdiction against the federal government of Nigeria may not have gone down well with his traducers, including the federal government of Nigeria. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the